What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Eastside Fly. I'm here, G, and as you can probably hear, I am sick right now, but I just wanted to talk about this because I see this a lot. Now, I am somebody that doesn't necessarily mind criticism of players. Like you in the NFL, you have to deal with this shit. What I do not like is what I believe is happening here, which is misinformation. I think that you can criticize things in a way that you have proof, right? You have this thing, you have this result, right? You have this is your A that affects your B, and these are two factual statements. To me, this feels like such a reach and such an attack on a person's character, on someone who the city that he plays for loves him so dearly because of all that he does, because of his character. And I think that Mr. Nick Wright here has this completely wrong. I think that this is one of those things where it's it's unfortunate to see this in national media is such a on such a big platform because it seems like it's not coming from the correct place, and I feel like this is just misinformation. So let's talk about this and let's kind of fix this narrative that has been played out because as somebody from the city that Lamar plays for and sees what he does in the community, what he does for the city that he plays for, and doesn't necessarily have to do, I think we gotta set this straight. So let's look at what was said first off about Mr. Lamar Jackson.
I think there are a lot of signs of immaturity with Lamar Jackson. Within the game, doesn't face much adversity, but when he does, I think we see some immaturity. I think the way he uses social media speaks to immaturity. Being damn near 30 and not figuring out how to not get sick every winter when your job demands you be at your best every winter speaks to immaturity. He's the most important person in that franchise. He's an adult. He's a professional athlete. And he is the only, forget star, just starting quarterback in this league that every single year he can't manage to figure out how to not get the seasonal flu and miss his practice. That's a problem. There's a lot of stuff about this stage Lamar Jackson that flags as odd given his stature in the league, his stature with his team, and how good of a player he is. He's the only franchise quarterback in this league that the team seems to have no line on his week-to-week, day-to-day health status. He's the only franchise quarterback in this league that we expect every winter to get sick and have it show up on an injury report. It's been 6 winters in a row that this has happened. The only one it didn't was when he missed winter with an injury. You hold your face of the franchise star player to a high standard, and I think this is one area where Lamar is lacking, and I don't think that's unfair. I think there are a lot of signs of immaturity with Lamar Jackson. Within
Well,
the game,
that's what he said about Mr. Lamar Jackson there, saying that him being sick every winter is a problem, right? And I understand that it is completely fair to say that him missing practices affects his play. You can talk about that. That's a fair thing. Missing practices is important. You should be there. You should be stepping up. But to say specifically for being sick and not avoiding the seasonal flu, why do you think he's getting the seasonal flu? Why do you think I'm sick right now? I just got finished up doing a little week of stretch teaching at a school over west in pre-K with young students. Do you realize that students are just complete like petri dishes of germs? These kids don't know how to blow their nose correctly, don't know how to cover up a cough, and they get everything because they're touching other people. They are little children that are learning how to be little humans. They get you sick. I just finished up and I am sick. It was 2 weeks with these students and I am sick. It happens. I'm 23, about to be 24 years old. Like, you cannot avoid this. I did everything, the hand sanitizer. I was really on top of things. It happens. So the reason I bring that up, what was Lamar doing last week? Let's take a look at it. And this is what Lamar had to say about that later on when asked about the event that he did, and I'll explain it in a
Chopper
second.
Johnny Shelton had told us about this event. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that, but I didn't sign up for it. I just pretty much just went out there and did that. I felt like it was cool to do. I didn't do it for no special reason. Just for trying to do something for the community and do something Christ-like. Jesus Christ, yeah. Chopper Johnny Shelton had.
So no matter what your opinions are on religion, basically what they did was in the Bible they talk about, obviously there's biblical verses, and I'm not going to get into all of it, but basically the idea of giving back, you wash the feet, you put the new shoes on, and it's a religious thing. Whether you feel however you feel about the religious aspect of it, he was up in a school in Cherry Hill at Cherry Hill Elementary and was around students washing their feet, doing things where you possibly could get sick. It is awesome to see community work, to see people interacting in the community. A lot of people in Baltimore are Christian. A lot of people in Baltimore are religious. So this fits the city, it fits everything. I do not understand how you can see that and then immediately go, I'm going to attack him for being sick. Because you probably didn't even know that. Mr. Nick Wright probably did not understand what had actually happened. And this is not something he does as a one-off. I have constantly seen this man in the community. When you scroll through these, going back as far as you can. And obviously, I couldn't find necessarily all of the times he's been in the community. I tried to do some research and couldn't necessarily find everything, but he is somebody that is constantly in this community. Is what makes us as fans love him so much, is he is in this community. He is in schools. He is constantly doing this day in and day out. And sometimes you get sick from that, and especially in the wintertime. That seems to be the time where teachers are calling out, where teachers are getting sick. It happens. To say that because he's doing community work is crazy. He's in the community, man. Like, why bring up all you want? If you feel like him having to recover so long and playing beat up, you think that's unfair to the team, you can say that having to miss for injuries constantly is a problem and something he needs. Talk about that. But to talk about him getting sick and feel like that's a fair argument when he is in the community doing things for a struggling city that is finally feels like they're getting somewhere, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I think it's a low blow. I think it's just a something that's real easy to pick on because of the fact that you do not know the reason behind it. And I think it's a cop out. And I think it's somebody that's in that position on a talk show like that, you shouldn't be making those crazy claims. Because look, he's been in the community. He does things every single year, toy drives in the schools. He's doing stuff all the time, especially in the winter. When you claim he's getting sick, he's in these schools around these children. It doesn't matter the reason why he's getting sick and having to be out if it is something like this. It shouldn't matter. It should show that his character as a person is higher than a lot of people, because there's plenty of rich people that don't do the things that Lamar does. And yet you calling him immature for going out and doing things in the community. And whether the religious aspect aside, he was gifting kids new shoes. Like, come on, man. What more do you want from him? He was a part of this. Him, Zay, Derrick Henry. This is why these guys are loved, because they are in the community doing things for the city that they play for. To then attack a player because they do that, because they got sick, something that is not necessarily always within your control. That's crazy to me. I think that is a dumb reason to say that. And seeing that come up on my feed made me so mad. And I had to do this video, even though I'm sick, I'm under the weather, not feeling well. I think that we need to see less of this. This is so forced. This is so ridiculous. And I get it. You want clicks and you want your money. But to say that about somebody's character without knowing the true reason feels absolutely ridiculous. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know I didn't necessarily explain the religious biblical aspect of it. I didn't want to go into it just because I like to try to keep the sports and other things separate. Obviously, I have my own beliefs. You will have your own beliefs. I don't want to keep it that way. But the whole point being of the giving, I wanted to clarify that at the end. It wasn't necessarily about the religion. That's why I stayed away from it. And obviously, I have my opinions. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you think Nick had a right to say this? Do you think he was way out and wrong? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully see you in the next one. Have a blessed day. Peace.